Um, so Solomon basically messaged me and was like, I'm gonna be leaving the city for a bit and like all of that. And like I was like, I ain't just gonna let him dip on us without having a conversation. So I took him graveyard and so I had a conversation about his journey of like how he's been, and it basically concluded with like building something is almost impossible. He's going down a straight road and there's no crossroads to make any decisions, and he wishes he just, instead of coming in the city to build something, he came in to please other people and to join something. It's impossible to build. He was basically saying he wanted to get involved with us. So that evening, like, he was like, oh, remember, if you guys need guns, I got you. I'll come right out with you guys. Like, I'll do whatever. And like, he was very much giving, I want to be with you guys. I want to get more involved. And to my knowledge, we all had a very good relationship with Solomon. Solomon's a smart guy. I thought he would probably bring a new, like, a new way for the Mandem, you know? Like, he'd bring something to the Mandem, like, not like a lot of people wouldn't, you know? So he rolled out with us last night. No one, like, had an issue with that. Me, James, or Ved, none of us had an issue with that. And then that evening, the next day, bro, everyone's beefing me for having him riding out in the six with us, bro. And it's like, we were roaming around with Carlito all of last night. Like, bro, it really ain't that different. Like, I don't want to roll out like the three of us. So, and then Patar was like, there's a bigger picture. You shouldn't just bring him in the six without speaking to everyone. Like, that needs to be discussed. I was like, is there a bigger picture that I don't understand? Like, what is the issue? And he sort of explained, like, about the Teddy stuff and, like, why he doesn't like him. And I was like, well, if he isn't going to join us...
The six stuff I get, because I've also been pushing for that, like, not just bringing in people to the six. Like, I can get why people was pissed about that, because we've had that conversation 10 times, and he obviously came to help. Solomon is closer than the average person, but, like, even so, I still do agree with what they're saying. But when did this, like... I never even knew that him and Patar had an issue. I'm not gonna lie.
Neither did I. Literally, I went to Patar, like, in the circle. Like, he was saying, yeah, I don't trust him because of this. And I was like, well, if that's the case, we've been trying to be transparent for God knows how long. Go tell him that, you know? Like, let him know he isn't going to be close to us if that's the case. And I guess they went and had a conversation. He got shot, bro.
Right? My thought was, if Patar didn't trust him, why was that not brought to all of us and we were all told to distance ourselves from him because he's not trustworthy?
Bro, I thought he was good people. I like Solomon. The first thing
I mean, though, right? Like, if I had someone who I knew that a lot of the Mandem were friends with and that I lost trust for them, I'd come to you lot and I'd say, listen, we cannot trust this guy. Cut him off.
Especially something that serious, bro.
But he didn't do that, and then all of a sudden, it's this, which I do think I'll be honest, on that conversation on the roof, I do think he overstepped when it came to the Dumbo. And I said that at the time. I don't know, I guess it feels like it come out of nowhere a little bit. But I mean, if he's got a reason, he's got a reason. Do you get what I was saying to him about the whole keeping energy thing? Because I feel like we'd do that to Solomon, but not someone else.
Yeah. I think that energy thing comes into play with hierarchy as well, to be honest, bro. And that's a bold thing to say. I think I get treated different to other people in the gang. In a negative way.
Like with outside the gang, though.
I think it's bigger picture than just the inside and outside the gang. It's a thing all round. I don't think people get treated fairly. I think if people can't, like, if they can't defend themselves, they will definitely get treated worse.
What do you mean?
Like, Solomon got shot because there was going to be no consequences. Telling me off constantly, there's going to be no consequences because everyone is just going to go against me. That's just how it is. That's always been a thing.
I don't know if I agree with the you part, but I do with the Solomon thing. I do think we have a habit of clapping back against people who we can guarantee there's no consequence with.
Yeah, that is a thing. 100%. Bro, we've been walked over by angels for months, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not. And the thing is, I know Patar today was like, oh, we'll go war them. Today wasn't the first time I brought up the angels walking over us to Patar. I brought it up probably 3 weeks ago when I was having an argument with him. I don't know.
No, but the thing is, recently you've been more serious, and the reason why I like comparing me and you, right? The reason why I get listened to more, if that's how you feel, because I think that probably is the case, is because I'm 90% of the time serious when it comes to conversations and like gang stuff. Outside of that, you know what I mean? I like to have fun in it, but I feel like the energy you give dictates that. I'm also not gonna like. You're similar to me in if you see something that you don't agree with, you will speak about it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You're the same as me, but I do that as well. I'm just less abrasive when I do it. Like I'm not as.
People take it as me coming at them. Yeah, we can go around with that in circles, but I don't know. I don't agree with the Solomon stuff. I think Solomon's a good guy. Maybe he slipped up and overstepped, but maybe he thought he had that relationship. I don't think. I don't know. Bro thought thought he killed him.
I think it's our fault partly though. Like I think we made him that comfortable. I think he thought he was like. I think we'd given off the vibe enough that he was comfortable enough so that he could ask those questions. I shared a warehouse with him.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He was comfortable with us, bro.
When you found this out, did you say the same things you're saying to me now to Patar?
No, of course I didn't. Bro, I don't vocalize my opinion anymore. Like I'm so over that. It goes in circles. I don't get listened to, and it doesn't go anywhere.
But I did, and it was alright.
Exactly. That is my point. I genuinely think if I said exactly the same thing as you, I get a completely different response. And I'm over that to the point where I'm not asked about getting my opinion across like that. I'm so over that. It just causes conflict on my side.
But would you say it the way I say it, though?
Yeah, that's the thing. I articulate my words in a bad way, you know? I come across a lot more aggressive. That's why there's no point. Bro, the first thing I did when I heard Solomon got shot was go to hospital to make sure he didn't die. I sat outside of his operation room, listening to the EMS to make sure he was good, and I saw him get taken up to ICU.
Thing is, you articulate yourself to me so much better than you do to Patar.
It's because when you respond, you don't beef me. I can actually have a conversation with you. When I speak to Patar, it's always he's on the back foot defending himself or coming at me.
But do you but do you feel like that's because you're going into that conversation with that in your head already? Like, if it's by you saying that to me, like you're kind of already assuming that every conversation is going to be like that, you know?
100%. But do you know how many conversations I've gone into a conversation and he's already made his mind up before he's even heard my side? I'm just so over it to the point where I just don't care anymore. I'll just keep my opinion shut, you know? And honestly, I think it's only
like he was a little defensive when I brought up the Solomon thing anyway, but
that's how every single one of my conversations are with him. Is the defensiveness. I think it's gonna get worse with the hierarchy stuff, honestly. I think more hierarchy is less people are gonna speak up if they think there's issues. We will just become like, I'm just gonna become a soldier, to be honest.
I don't agree. Only if you let yourself do that. But like he was defensive, but he tells me multiple times that he wants me to call him out if he does some shit I don't think is right. It wasn't even that I think he did right, but ultimately I think you can change that narrative. Because you got to bear in mind as well, right? Like,
Someone's
it's
sleeping
not
below us, right? Maybe I'm hearing things. What are you saying?
it's not just like, because the issue is because you've got so like, you know what it low-key is you and him have never come to a resolution. That's actually what your issue is. And that's what I've just realized. You and Patar have had back and forths in every conversation for the last 6 months, but you've never come to a resolution. Not once has there been a mutual understanding from both sides. It's always been left of, we won't see eye to eye, we'll move on, right? That's basically how it's been. So the issue is you're going into every new conversation with the 65 other ones prior unresolved.
Do you know
So
what? Do you know what that
have
is?
a conversation when it's listened to on both sides and it is good because you haven't resolved the previous ones, and that's on both of you, to be honest. To actually sit down and go, look, clean slate. We're gonna start fresh. Fuck everything that's happened before. Every conversation we have from now on is a clean slate, because that's I've literally cracked the code. That is what the issue is. You're having conversations on top of unfixed wounds.
You're right.
So it's just resurfacing
because every time we have a conversation, it will be like it will start off with the problem that started the conversation. I'll prove it wrong, and then it'd be like, yeah, but it's just a disrespect thing. You've always disrespected, and then they bring up other conversations. It's always bringing up old things. And do you know when I realized when I'm never gonna get through? Do you know that day, yeah, when you and James were kind of mocking it with the whole vote stuff, and I think we can both agree I wasn't really in the wrong in that situation, you know?
Yeah.
And when I explained that whole situation to Patar, because he approached me, and he was still trying to point out my flaws and justify your man actions, I realized no matter what, I'm in the wrong. There's no situation where he goes, fair enough, Matt, I hear you, sorry that's happened, and actually listens. It very much became picking at whatever he could of me doing wrong, and where I could have, like, sometimes I just want him to listen. Take it upon
yourself to clear the slate. Go to him with what I've just said to you and say, look, I know what the issue is. We have not cleared the conversations prior. I want to start fresh. I want you to drop everything I've done previously. I'll drop every conversation we've had previously, and going forward, I want it to be fresh and that we can listen to each other and not think about that shit prior. Tell him that.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I think he would respect you for doing that. If you go up to him and literally say that, he'll respect that.
Yeah, you're right.
And if it continues after, then it's a different conversation. But I think right now it makes sense why it's happening, is because you haven't fixed it. It's never been fixed.
I feel like he's going to take that as, I want to drop out everything because it benefits me, though. I genuinely think that's how he'll take it.
No, but just say, like, I think it's not... You can just then say, if he says that, it's not to get me out of trouble. It's so that we can have actual constructive conversations.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Because, yeah, cleaning that slate does low-key benefit you, but you can't also hold previous actions over you forever. I'm not saying that's what is done, but you should be able to go to him and have a conversation saying, let's move on from it. And if you're saying that to him, he can respect the fact you want to move on from it. And then if you start acting in a way where you can have good conversations from that point onwards, then he has no reason to go back to it.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good start point either way.
Find out. Because if you go to him with this and you say what we're speaking about and he doesn't listen to that, then there is a deeper issue there. But you haven't tried to fix the previous shit, so do that first.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. Because every single argument we have, it always goes back to the, you've done this in the past, you've done that in the past. And instead of it being the conversation being about the problem, it being about you have a respect issue all around. And then at that point, are you telling me I don't respect you, I don't do this, I don't do that? It doesn't tell me what I can fix, bro. It goes in one ear and comes out the other, to be honest. You know?
I don't mind. Like, I will happily pull you and Patar to a mountain and mediate that conversation to make sure that it gets through to both of you.
Let me have it with him on my ones, and then because I kind of want to see if that does get through to him, because it's not like I'm going into a conversation to defend myself because I haven't done anything. You know, it's me coming into a conversation to clear the air.
Yeah. Okay. Do it today. Do it now.
Yeah, I'm pulling him out.